guys, today I'm going to show you how to do grapes in 4 easy steps. This is very simple, great for beginners or all levels if you just want to touch up on your painting skills. My name is Allison Pryor and we're going to do these beautiful grapes. I did a preview earlier and so I'm just getting the chance now to do the grapes. So we have all kinds of shapes and colors, and there's probably other colors too if you want to look up some pictures of grapes. So let's get started. So all you need is some paint, which is the primary colors of red, yellow, and blue. And I put green on there, and black and white, and some burnt umber. I'm going to put some burnt umber on there. And so if you got cad red, cad yellow, and ultramarine blue, sap green, and burnt umber, then that would be even better, but that's okay. These are nice colors. There are only 2 paints. And all you need for your brushes is a filbert brush, small filbert brush if you have one. If you don't have one, just use whatever synthetic or sable brush you have there, small, flat, or round. And I'm going to use a small little liner brush. Okay, first step so is to draw out your grapes so you can get the shapes. Nice circle. And we'll make a few more around that circle, little half circles. So we can figure out the shape that we want the grapes to be in. Once you get that center circle down, then you can put circles, half circles around that one. And we'll come down until we get the way we want the grapes to sit. So that will be your first step. Draw out your grapes. There we go. That will be easier to draw them out. There we go. So as soon as you get the grapes shape that you want, they will start painting. There we go. Good. So now all you have to do is fill in your basic color. We'll go with green. So green on your filbert brush and fill in your grapes. It's a possibility you may need 2 coats. So once you get them all filled in, then we can do the 3rd step. This is the second step. Fill them all in. Making those circles will really help. I'll show you another way you can do it too. Okay. Definitely going to need a 2nd coat. But if you got thicker paint than what I'm using, then you'll be able to use 1 coat. So mine are bottle paints, and they're kind of fluid. But you can buy really thick acrylic paints that's almost like oil. And they give you more vibrant colors. But I use these bottle paints for the videos. I find it a bit easier, faster for me to get the paintings done. So you just fill in all those circles with your green paint. There we go. That's okay if you go inside lines, but we're just trying to use those circles as a guide. So it doesn't matter if it's a bit messy for now. Just fill it in. 1 grape at a time. So what I'm going to do is let that dry, and then I'm going to give it a 2nd coat. And you guys give it a 2nd coat. Fill it all in so the white's not showing. So we'll do a 2nd coat on that. Now when you do your second coat, you can fix up any imperfections that you have and make a nice deeper greener color. Some of you may not have to do a second coat because your paint is really thick and it goes on really nice in the very first try. But those of you who have to do a second coat, now you can fix up your imperfections, fill in the white lines if there's any white spaces left there, and pull out your grapes so that you can see them better. And then, when you get that done, so your first step was to draw your grapes with pencil or chalk. Second step is to paint your grapes. Like I say, that you may only need one coat, but some people may need two, depending on the paint you're using. Fill in your imperfections, so that you can see your grapes. So I'm just filling in spots that were a little lighter than I wanted them to be. And I'm just putting in some extra paint to darken it up because my paint is a little thin. And I think I should do it for that coat. And now we'll do the third step. So now you can do your third step. And all you need is a bit of white with some green, so it won't be too chalky. Alright, so then you're going to take your liner brush and you're going to add your little tiny highlight on the top. Make a half circle on the top of the grape that you already did. And then take a clean, dry brush, small enough to move it around. And then you move that around a little bit so that you don't cover up all your green, because you want it to just highlight the top. So that's one. And do another one. Half circle on the top of your grape. And move it around so you can still see the green underneath. Good. Now, here we go. Now what you're going to do is, so just keep your liner brush, get a smaller one of the other if you find your liner brush too big. So it has to be really, really small. And pick up some pale green, very pale. And let's try this one in here. Put your top on, half a circle. Take your clean brush and wipe it around. There we go. See how it's bringing it out really nice? Let's try another one. Let's try this one in here. Good. And then you move it around. Soften it up. If they got too much paint, clean your brush off and wipe it again, okay? And if it's too white, you just go back in with some green. Just so you don't lose all your green. Like I say, when you're painting, you have to make adjustments. No matter, you know, if you got 3 or 4 steps, or you still have to make adjustments, but you make adjustments on that one step. So here we go. Let's try this one over here. And move it around. Good. So I'll try to speed this up a little bit for you now, but you can work on yours. Try to find your grapes, because you're probably going to lose some of them where you're blending them and getting the shapes. But see how they're coming out really nice though? Let's try one over here. Alright. And if you got a black line, if you use the pencil, just go over the line so you can hide it. And move it around. Now let's try another one. So this is basically what you're going to be doing for all your grapes. You have to find your grape, put on your half circle, and shade out that edge so it goes right into the grape. Okay, there's a little one right here. So I'm changing my brush when I make sure it's nice and clean. See how it pops out when you do that? As long as you keep your basic color, as long as you don't cover that all up, and you just put on that little shadows and shades, these highlights, you want to call them that. I think I see one buried in there. So you can make adjustments as you're doing this. Good, and another one here. And they just pop right out. Pop out. Unbelievable. See that? See how they're popping out at you? Just starting to look like grapes. Let's see if there's one right here. Half circle. Take that hard line there and smooth it out. There we go. Good. Let's see where else we need one. So if we don't have enough on one, just go back over it again. This one here I think needs a little more. Now they don't all have to be exactly the same because the light shines on grapes a little differently on different grapes. Good. And I see one right here. Now, there we go. Let's see where else. Let's see. How about here? So when you make your half circle over your grape, it just brings it out. The trick is to keep your basic color. This just goes on, it basically goes on half the grape, we'll say. Nice. There we go. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. I think I see one right here. Let's see if that comes out. Now, I see one right here on the very end. Smooth it out. And move it around. Now have a look at your grapes and see if you need any more. See if there's any empty spots. If there is, just put a little half circle and move it around. Let's see if I can find some more. I think I see one hiding in here. I could be wrong. Because if you do it and it doesn't look right, just take it out. Don't leave. It's just peeping out there. Good. And this one here might need a little more highlight. So it's not pure white, okay? It's a light green. Very light green. Now that don't look too bad. So what we can do now is, so that was your third step, and now your fourth step is very simple and quick and easy. Here we go. So your fourth step is to take a toothpick, dip it into paint, the edge of the toothpick, and just make these little dots of highlight. Now this is pure white this time. Okay, and some of the dots will be smaller than others because not every grape is going to have a highlight on it. Some are not even going to be seen because they're probably hidden in shadow. But we put the highlights on our blue on the purple side grapes. So I'm going to draw some circles for you. I already have some drawn here, but I'll save that one for another bunch. So here we go. Big circle first, and then some smaller circles, half circles we'll say, around that one, and that'll make it so much easier for you to make your overlapping grapes. So I'll put in as many as I can. I don't want to put in too many because I'll be taking a long time to get this done for you. So we'll just put a little bunch in here, like we got up there. There we go. It's a nice little bunch. We'll just, usually they end with one or two hanging off the edge, but I'm just going to see what I can get here now. Maybe I'll just leave it at that. Leave it at that. Leave it at that. Okay. And what we'll do is we'll take some, use your filbert brush, and a square. I don't think that's filbert at all. Here we go. It's almost hard to tell the difference because they're small. This one's a number 6. Okay, so we're going to go on the blue side, purplish blue. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some blue and some red. So on the blue side, you don't need it as much red. More blue than red. Okay, so that's nice. Let's try that. Alright, so let's go in here. And like we did before, paint them individually. And you might need 2 coats again. Okay, so just paint those individually. This is your, so your first step is to draw your grapes. Second step is to fill them in with paint, whatever color grapes you're going to have. And if you feel confident, you can just go ahead and paint them in like this. As long as you can see your lines, then you're pretty safe. So you can do it this way instead of doing them individually, but I would suggest that you do them individually, okay? I'm just trying to show you some different ways of painting your grapes. That's all. That's all. Trying different ways, because there's so many ways you can paint, and I'm hoping that I can give you, if I give you 5 or 6 different ways of painting something, and you even just get one way out of it that you really like, well, that's, I feel like I've accomplished something to help you. I don't want to hold back. I want to let you know everything that I know. And I don't know everything, but I'm trying my best. I study and I practice, and I want to be prepared for when I'm trying to show you how to paint. Now, I'm hoping to get more into color theory a little later. But we're doing easy steps so you can get started, okay? There's lots of videos out there that you can have a look at. Different techniques, different ways of doing things. There we go. See, I just fill that in completely instead of doing individually. But I can still see my lines. So we let that dry, and then we'll do the third step. So when your first coat is dry and you want to put on a second coat, if you want to put a second coat on, if you need it, then just put on some more paint. I just put a little second coat on mine, so that's pretty simple. Just go back in and put a second coat on. If you don't want to lose your lines, then just do the grapes individually, okay? Because you don't want to lose your lines, or you don't want to lose where you're to. So I did my second coat, and I did lose a few of my lines, so I'm going to have to guess where I am. If you want some of the grapes to have a reddish tint to them, you can just add a little more red to your blue, and then you'll have some different, little bit of color change. And then you want to go back and add some more blue. You know, then you can have grapes that have some different colors. They don't have to be all one color. Change them up a little bit, because you know when you look at grapes, they have reds and blues, all kinds of stuff going on there. So then just shape up your grapes, do a second coat if you have to, and there we go. See, I had a tiny bit of red, a little more red to get some nice reddish tint in there. All right. And now for your third step on these blue grapes, you know the drill. So take some that bluish color that you made, okay, and add a little bit of white to it. So it's a really light blue, okay? All right. Trying to wait for it to focus. Okay, so we'll just pull out here a little bit. And we will put on our highlight. So pick up that on your liner brush and pick a grape and put your half circle on the top and get out your brush, get your other brush ready, dry brush, so that you can move that highlight around. There we go. There we go. And another one here. And move it around. And here. Clean your brush off. Make sure it's not too wet. Mine's a little bit wet, that's why it's getting too bright. Okay, and then another one here. I'm not going to go back for paint all the time. I think I'm just going to use what's on my brush because it'll be too much. Move it around. See how I got too much on there? So you just go in and darken up the bottom a little bit. And you can even use your finger. Let's get another one. Alright, let's try one right here. Half circle on top of your grape of a lighter color and move it around with your dry brush. Good. Okay, so we don't want too much because you don't want to bury your grape. But that nice little highlight, that will bring your grape out so you can see it better. And it'll separate them and make them individual. Try a couple more. I think I see one right here. Do one at a time because acrylics dry so fast. If you do a bunch and then you go back, then it could be dry and then you won't be able to spread it out. You have to redo it. Okay, that's why I'm doing them individually. A little one in there. Maybe there's a little one. Let's see over here. Good. Now the highlight is on. Alright, well, that's fine. Make sure I got the highlights in the right places too. You got to think out where the light might be shining on them. If you got them on your table, the kitchen light. You know it would be good if you got yourself a bunch of grapes. Lay them on your table. Then you can see where the highlights are. I think I see one here. I lost my line, so now I have to guess. Now I have to guess where they are, because they're hiding on me. I think I see one right here. See how easy it is, though? Just a few little steps. There's no need to make things complicated, you know? And when you get this done, and if you look at it and you're still not happy, you can always go back and make adjustments. But always just try to get your basic steps down first, and then you can go from there. Because it could be complicated sometimes, and then, or it can be made complicated to look complicated sometimes, and then you get discouraged. But if you do something as simple as this, you'd be like, oh, that's not so hard. I can do that. See? Just a little line. It's so simple. Let's see where else let me see. Maybe there's one right here. There we go. So you just push it around when you put your line on. Good. Maybe there's one right here. Now they don't all have to be in the same. When you're putting your highlight on, pick different spots of the grape to put it on so they're not all looking too much the same. See? Not pretty? Now I think I see one underneath there. Well, that's buried, so I might just put a little one on the edge here. Not much, just enough to be able to see it. And I think that's about it for the third step. Unless there's one over here hiding. There, maybe that's hiding. Let's see. If you do one you don't like it, just put your basic blue back in, or your basic color. Okay, I think I'm okay. I think I am. Maybe I'll put one right here just to offset that everything is all get it all nice and bundled together. So you can make changes, whatever you want to do. Now, let's do the fourth step. And you know what that is. Your toothpick and white, pure white, and a little dot here, a little dot there. And you can skip over a few just to make it look like. So let's try these grapes on the red side. You know, there's some grapes on the red side. See different colors. You can have all different colors. Like you say, have a look at the grapes, real grapes, and see the different colors in them. There we go. Let's try a couple of those and see how we can get them to look something like that. So what I did to get those reddish ones is the base color of, it's a purplish side. So like I said before, you want to be more on the red side. Use some blue. And now this time you will use more red than blue. Okay, because you're on the red side. But yet nice and dark because you're doing your base color, you'll be lightening that up with your shading. So now, let's go back in here so you can see me. So your first step was to draw, okay? Draw out your circles, and now we'll fill them in with the base color, more on the reddish purplish side, like a violet. There we go, or a wine color. Nice. Okay, use your filbert brush to get around those circles. See? Good. Now, fill them all in. Do one at a time if you find that easier. Do them one at a time. That way you can take your time and get the outer circles nice and round. See? Because, I mean, if you draw with a pencil, there's a possibility you might be off. Your lines might be off a little bit. So just fill them in. Fill in your circles. Make sure you can still see your lines. You can either be more careful and just go around the lines instead of moving your brush into the other one right away. Just move over then. Okay? Or you can just paint it in. The only thing about painting it in, I noticed, is that you go back over another grape and you end up getting these really dark areas. Now, that's not bad. You can still work with it. But if you do them individually, then they'll all come out nice, same basic color. Okay, so we have that one done. And now we're going to probably do a second coat if you need it. Okay, if you need to make adjustments to your second coat, fill it in. And if you need to fix up some edges, and you can do that too to make it more round. Yep, use your filbert brush, that will help you. Yep. So make your adjustments with your second coat if you need it. If you don't need it, then just continue on with your third step. So right now we're going to do our third step. So our third step, of course, is your liner brush and the same color that you base color, and add some white to it. And get a really nice light pink. So, nice light pinkish color. So pick out your red berry now, a blueberry, and there we go. And take your brush and move it around. Might have put a little bit too much on there. So I'll wait for that to dry a little bit and then I'll move. Make sure you clean off your brush, that's all. Well, there we go. Just clean off your brush to get most of the paint off of it. There we go. That's better. Good. So I'm not going to pick up any more paint. I'm just going to use what I have because I got a lot on there. So I have circle on the top of your grape and clean brush. And you move that around. There we go. I have 2 grapes. So keep going. one here. I'm going to do two to speed up the process a little bit. But I'm telling you to do them individually because they'll dry on you and then you'll have to go back and try again. Alright, that got two done. I think I can get two more done. Let's go right at the top here because I made a mess. And I'm going to move that down. Okay. And then another one. Let's see. Where can I find another one? I think there's one right here. There we go. And move it around. See, because you can still see your paint underneath. One here. Good. And like I said, if you put on too much, you lose your basic color. Just put some of your basic color back in the bottom. Or do the whole grape over again and start over. But just put a little bit on the top here. Pick the spots where you want to highlight. It can be on the side, on the back, on the top, wherever you want the grapes, whatever way you want the grapes to look the way they're lying down. Like I suggested, go ahead and get yourself, when you go to the supermarket, you buy your grapes. I'm sure there's a time you might buy some grapes and lay them on the table and have a look at where the light shines on them. The colors, the shapes, and then you could even draw out the shape and try it with real grapes. Okay? Right now I'm just doing it for the video and I don't have any grapes handy. There we go. Only the ones that I already painted before. Good. And some more pinkish color paint. There we go. Put one in here. I might put one, another one back here and here. I'm going to attempt 3 of them this time so they won't dry. There we go. See how fast they're drying on me? Look, I can't even do that because where you're putting on such little paint, acrylics will dry really fast. But you can buy, you know, mediums, a gel medium to extend, to thicken up your paint, and floating. You go out and look and see what they have out there to extend the drying time of acrylics. So there we go. That's our second step. Let's see what we got going on here. See if you can see a little bit closer. There we go. A little bit, almost. Hard to get a close-up. It blurs on me. There we go. Now, we'll put on our final step and see. That's all you need. It's it. Simple as pie. A little bit of whites on a toothpick. And put wherever you think the highlights are. And you got some really nice grapes. Half circle, half circle. And that'll overlap your grapes for you. Little half circles around that one circle make it so much easier for you to try to figure out the shapes. Good. So let's bring it down here. Good. Now, and probably one more down here, just hanging right off. Good. Now, take some, let's see. Let's take some, we're going to go more on a very red side this time. So we're going to take our red, a little bit of blue, okay? But it's more red. Oops, there you are. Okay. So let's fill those in with some red. And next time you go back, you're going to get, well, let's do a couple first. Let's do a couple of reddish ones. Wherever you want them. Fill them in. And this time when you go back to get your red, with a little bit of blue in it, just put a little more blue in it this time. Just a little bit more. Let's just sort of change up the colors a little bit. Just a tiny bit from see if we can get some different color grapes this time instead of one, you know, basic color. But you can do this with all of them. Just put different greens, lights and darks. There we go. I'm going to try a little bit of burnt umber this time. I'm going to get brave. Burnt umber. Let's see what's going to happen. Oh, nice. Nice. Oops. Was nice. There we go. Oh, my brush is too big. So I'm just using a filbert brush. Get the smallest one you can find. If that's not working for you, then go get a round brush, a small round brush. Okay, let's see. Let's go back and get some more red, a little more burnt umber, and maybe a little blue. So I'm just playing with the colors now, okay? So let's see what that does. Oh yeah, it's nice. Darkens it right up. Good. Okay, clean your brush because you don't want them too dark. Okay, and so go back and get some more red. Get that mixture again, but go more on the red side again. There we go. Good. And you might need a second coat, like I said before. And the big one down there, I'm going to add a little bit of blue to that one with the red and darken up a small bit. There we go. Good. Okay, let's do our third step. Now I just put in a little second coat so you can straighten your grapes out and get them the way you want them. So this, with the color that you used, a reddish color with some brown and blue in it that you did earlier. Okay. All you gotta do is add some white to that. Okay, because we don't want it to be too white. But white enough, so we got, there we go. So just the way you need it. And then put on a highlight. And have your other brush ready to spread it out. Okay, there's your highlight. And move it around. Now if that's not bright enough, get some more paint, some white paint. Add it to your mixture, and then move it around. Good. So it's all the same. It's all the same steps. It's just making different color grapes. All kinds of colors. Like I say, you get out a bunch of grapes. Don't eat them all first, and have a look at them and get them to guide you into the colors. So if you want blue grapes, you can still add red and be more on the blue side. Add more blue paint instead. And if you want to be on the red side, then you add, so you can adjust your colors, so more red than blue. So adjust your colors. It's really not hard. Just sit down and play with it. I think what happens to people is they try to rush and they don't take a chance or time out to just have a look at things the way they work. You know, sometimes you need to sit down, get a separate sheet of paper or something that you can practice on, and take the colors and see what they look like. See how the highlights spread out for you. Because if you try to do your painting right away and things don't work out, you get discouraged. We don't want that. You want to have fun. Everybody loves to paint, you know, and lots of people love to paint. They say it's a stress reliever. And there we go. So I'm just adding some more of these highlights. And see how the highlights bring everything out? Let me see. Let's put one here. Might have to make some adjustments. There we go. See how they pop out at you once you put that half circle on the top, that lighter color? See how they pop out? See? Good. Now, so you continue doing this, and if you enjoyed this video, you can make you can share the video. It'll be a help. You can subscribe. You can like. do all kinds of things. So you can get notified of other things, because I'm going to be doing videos and lots of them. And I want to do your requests. I'm getting some requests. Sometimes I can't get to your requests because I have a long list of requests. But give me a request anyway, and I will do my best, because actually that's good for me, because then I don't have to be worried about what should I paint next, because I have a big long list of things that I have to paint for you guys. So you're helping me, actually. You help me a lot. You make me happy when you make those nice comments, and then I know I'm helping you, and I'm doing something right to help. So you're a big part of this, of course. If you didn't watch or let me know how you felt about it, I wouldn't know. Okay, so you can make any adjustments that you need on these. Just do your steps. Okay, if you want some more highlight, you can certainly go back in and get more. And use your brush to rub it out, to rub it around so you can get some more highlight. And then your fourth step is, I bet you know, toothpick, some white, and boom, 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 boom. There we go. Oops, got a big one on there, but that's okay. Yes, my toothpick was upside down. Anyway, so there's your grapes. So it's, you know, you got all the different colors. You can make up your own colors of grapes. And that was fun. So I will see you in the next video from Allison Pryor. Happy painting.